This is Frisco Live 415, Frisco Files Edition. On November 12, 2023, we were the first outlet to break the news about a body being found in the Crissy Field parking lot. According to scanner audio we heard, the victim lay lifeless with a pool of blood around him. Not long later, scanner audio mentioned that United States Park Police and the San Francisco Police Department were initiating a quote 187 investigation, aka homicide investigation, looking into the incident. By 8:30 a.m., our friends over at SF Public Safety News, acting on our tip, were on scene gathering this incredible footage of a murder investigation taking place with the beautiful backdrop of the Golden Gate Bridge. Let's transport ourselves to the scene for a moment. Later in the day, it was announced that the FBI would be taking over the investigation since the body was found on an area that is exclusively federal jurisdiction.
We are following developing news out of San Francisco tonight, where the discovery of a body has launched an FBI investigation. San Francisco firefighters found the body in a parking lot near Crissy Field about 6:30 this morning. Not clear why firefighter personnel were in the area. Maybe they got a call. Anyway, U.S. Park Police tell us the FBI is leading this investigation into what happened because the case happened in an area of exclusive federal jurisdiction. We have reached out for more information. We'll bring you the latest as we learn more.
Not more than 2 weeks later, a suspect was arrested by the FBI in an early morning raid and has already entered a not guilty plea in court. In this video, we will dive into the probable cause affidavit, which provides an unusually transparent glimpse into the facts of the case at such an early stage. Without further ado, let's dive into Frisco Files. On November 12, 2023, at approximately 6:25 a.m., civilian witnesses discovered the deceased body of the victim in the parking lot of Crissy Field East Beach, located within the Presidio, on East Beach Road in San Francisco. The Presidio is federal land. The victim was found lying on his back with a significant amount of blood pooled under his head. The medical examiner later determined the victim suffered from a single gunshot wound to his head. There was also another large pool of blood under the victim's left leg. A bloody tire track was observed leading away from the pool of blood from under the victim's left leg. At the time the victim's body was discovered, there were no other persons or vehicles observed in the area by witnesses. At approximately 6:35 a.m., San Francisco Fire Department responded to the 911 call. The firefighter-paramedic evaluated the victim and declared him dead shortly thereafter. The paramedic stated that the victim was warm to the touch, the blood was wet and bright red in color, and the victim was not rigid. At approximately 9:20 a.m., I personally observed the victim's body and noted the blood pooled under the victim's head and on his face was bright red in color, indicative of oxygenated blood. Based on my training and experience, there were no insects or flies on the victim. The victim was not yet rigid, indicative that rigor mortis had not yet set in, and there was no observation of body decomposition. Based on my training and experience, including my experience as a trained emergency medical technician, I believe that death had been relatively recent, likely within a matter of a couple of hours. There were several personal items scattered around the victim's body, including unidentified keys, not car keys. There was no cell phone, car keys, or gun located on or in the vicinity of the victim's body. Due to the gunshot wound to the victim's head, the proximity of the victim's body to the vehicle's bloody tire tracks leading away from the body, the absence of a cell phone or car keys in the victim's possession, and the other facts described above, and based on my training and experience, I believe the victim was murdered and another person was present at or near the time of the victim's death. FBI special agents and other personnel also responded to the scene and began investigating the homicide. Law enforcement accessed camera footage in the Presidio maintained by a proprietary camera system that can read and record the license plates of vehicles. Law enforcement sought to identify vehicles in the area of Crissy Field between 5 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. on November 12, 2023, the time frame between when the access gates were opened and when the victim's body was found. At 6:12 a.m., the camera system identified a vehicle with California license plate containing 219 driving south on Presidio Boulevard toward Pacific Avenue, away from Crissy Field. Law enforcement cross-referenced this license plate through California DMV records and determined that it was a 2014 Hyundai Accent, the Hyundai Accent that was registered to the victim's residence in San Francisco, California, but under the name of a different person, GK. After further investigation, law enforcement determined that GK and the victim lived together at this residence. GK told law enforcement that the victim had permission to borrow the Hyundai Accent on or about November 12, 2023, and that the victim had been the primary driver of the vehicle for the last few months. GK stated no one else had permission to use the vehicle, and no one else had keys to the vehicle. GK, his family, and the victim only had one set of keys to the Hyundai Accent, and those keys were in the sole possession of the victim as of November 11, 2023. The FBI also learned that the victim is known to carry and keep in his possession a black backpack containing a laptop and a small pistol. On November 15, 2023, San Francisco Police Department, SFPD, patrol officers were dispatched to a call for service on the 100 block of Kiska Road in San Francisco, California, for an unoccupied vehicle that had been double parked for several days. SFPD responded to that location and found the unoccupied and double-parked vehicle, which was a 2014 gray Hyundai Accent with California license plate containing 219. This was the same Hyundai Accent that is registered to GK and that the victim was driving prior to his murder. Law enforcement observed what appeared to be dried blood in various locations on the Hyundai Accent, including on the front driver's side tire tread, on the outside paneling under the driver's side door, and a significant amount on the driver's floorboard mat. A preliminary field test, conducted by the FBI's evidence response team, showed a positive result for blood. No black backpack, laptop, pistol, or car keys were ever located in the vehicle. Law enforcement recovered video camera footage from the 100 block of Kiska Road. The footage showed the Hyundai Accent arrive at the 100 block of Kiska Road on November 12, 2023, at approximately 6:43 a.m. The footage captured a heavy-set adult black female with long black curly hair and estimated to be in approximately her 20s to 30s. Subject 1, exit the Hyundai Accent. Subject 1 appeared to be talking to someone as if on speakerphone. She then tossed an unknown item in the direction of the sidewalk. Shortly after the Hyundai Accent parked, a black Jeep Commander with chipped black paint from the passenger side roof rack, exposing the metallic silver material underneath, the subject vehicle, arrived at the 100 block of Kiska Road. The subject vehicle approached Subject 1, and the driver rolled down the passenger side window as the subject vehicle came to a stop near the Hyundai Accent. The driver remained inside the subject vehicle and appeared to speak with Subject 1 through the open passenger window. Subject 1 then retrieved something from the trunk of the subject vehicle, and the driver appeared to hand something to Subject 1 through the passenger window. Subject 1 approached the Hyundai Accent and appeared to begin wiping down the Hyundai Accent with the item the driver of the subject vehicle handed her. Subject 1 was holding a light-colored purse or bag. Subject 1 ran towards the trunk of the subject vehicle and opened the trunk door. Subject 1 re-emerged without the bag, instead holding some sort of fabric material, similar to a clothing item or towel. Subject 1 then ran back to the open driver's side door of the Hyundai Accent and wiped down the driver's side door and interior in haste with the item retrieved from the subject vehicle. Subject 1 also appeared to examine the front driver's side wheel well. Subject 1 then entered the front passenger side of the vehicle, apparently to further wipe down the interior of the vehicle. Subject 1 returned to the driver's side door of the Hyundai Accent, crawled into the vehicle, and emerged holding a black bag with straps. Subject 1 placed the black bag into the trunk of the subject vehicle. Subject 1 returned to the Hyundai Accent and appeared to closely examine the ground, the interior, and under the vehicle. She went back and forth between both vehicles several more times, running to the trunk of the subject vehicle each time. Subject 1 eventually got into the front passenger seat of the subject vehicle, which drove away at approximately 6:57 a.m. Further investigation leading to the identification of Butler, the FBI searched a camera system database for black Jeep Commanders that could be consistent with the subject vehicle. A black Jeep Commander with the same paint damage and exposed metallic frame of the vehicle's roof rack was identified in several photographs with California license plate 5XIK537. A DMV inquiry of the vehicle indicated that the vehicle was purchased on October 16, 2023, by LB, with a registered address on Lisbon Street in San Francisco, California. Through open source and law enforcement checks, law enforcement determined that LB has a daughter that matched the physical and age descriptors of Subject 1. The daughter is Leion Butler, identified alternatively as a black male or female, age 20, approximately 293 pounds, with long black curly hair. Law enforcement obtained a photograph of Butler from a June 26, 2023 encounter with SFPD and compared that photograph to the video recording of Subject 1. Upon reviewing these materials, I believe that Butler is Subject 1 and is the same person that exited the victim's Hyundai Accent, attempted to wipe away blood and other forensic evidence, and drove off in the subject vehicle with an unknown person approximately 20 minutes after the victim's deceased body was found. According to Google Maps, the distance between Crissy Field, where the murder occurred, and the 100 block of Kiska Road, where the Hyundai Accent was found, is approximately 9.0 miles, and the travel time is approximately 33 minutes by car. This aligns with the surveillance footage which shows the Hyundai Accent driving away from the crime scene at 6:12 a.m. before being observed on surveillance footage at Kiska Road at 6:43 a.m. Additionally, law enforcement sought and obtained a federal search warrant for the location data associated with Butler's cellular telephone. An analysis of that data shows that Butler was both near the scene of the victim's murder and also near the 100 block of Kiska Road, as described further below. The FBI analyzed Butler's cell phone records and performed an analysis of cellular tower location data. The FBI determined that on the morning of November 12, 2023, Butler's cell phone utilized multiple cellular towers for voice and data transactions. Specifically, a telephone data transaction was logged between 6:12 and 10 seconds a.m. and 6:12 and 25 seconds a.m., which used a tower located at Laurel Street and Washington Street in San Francisco. That intersection is approximately 2 blocks away from the intersection of Presidio Boulevard and Pacific Avenue, where the victim's car was photographed by the camera system at 6:12 and 56 seconds a.m. Additionally, multiple telephone transactions were logged between 6:37 a.m. and 6:57 a.m., which utilized a tower located at Van Dyke Avenue and Ingalls Street in San Francisco. That intersection is approximately 0.6 miles from the 100 block of Kiska Road, where Butler was observed dropping off the victim's vehicle. One of the telephone transactions was a voice telephone call to a number ending in X7257. This call connected at 6:37 and 6 seconds a.m. and terminated at 6:51 and 55 seconds a.m., around the same time that the subject vehicle arrived at the 100 block of Kiska Road. Through multiple open source and law enforcement database checks, law enforcement identified the individual who registered and used phone number X7257 as LB, who was the registered purchaser of the subject vehicle and mother of Butler. Based on the information set forth in this affidavit and my training and experience, I respectfully submit that there is probable cause to believe that on or about November 12, 2023, in the Northern District of California, Leion Butler violated 18 U.S.C. 1111 and 2, aiding and abetting murder. I ask that the court issue this criminal complaint and a warrant for Leion Butler's arrest. Under penalty of perjury, I swear that the foregoing is true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Casey Smith, Special Agent, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Well, there you have it, folks. The FBI, with their toolbox including automated license plate readers, vehicle databases, cell tower data, gathering of surveillance footage, and of course the suspect's prior interaction with SFPD in June of this year, made quick work of this 20-year-old 300-pound male or female daughter named Leion Butler. They didn't stand a chance. Thanks for watching, and as always, give us a piece of your mind in the comments section below, will ya?